Let's talk about the walking, talking ammo crate that is the Ranger Veteran. His passive ability, Survivalist. Specials drop ammunition pickups on death that restore 10% of maximum ammo when picked up. I told you, I wasn't kidding. His career skill, Disengage. Barden deploys a smoke bomb for 10 seconds that conceals him from enemies while he stays inside the cloud. Also gains increased range attack power while concealed. Pretty cool little stealthy ability there. He's also got Loaded for Battle, increases ammo capacity by 50%. Fast Hands, a 15% increased reload speed. And Ingenious Improvisation, 10% chance not to use any healing, potions, or grenades. So that's a lot of stuff. Pretty cool. For this build, I'm going to be going with the Great Axe here, which is why I like Ranger Reaper. Damaging multiple enemies in one swing with a melee weapon grants temporary health. The maximum is 5 in one swing, so if you hit one enemy, you get 1 temp health. If you hit 5 temp health. You know, that's the cap, and so on and so forth. Your other options here are Roots Running Deep. Staggering enemies with a melee attack grants temporary health. I see a lot of people use the axe and shield with this guy, or even the hammer and shield. If that's the case, you definitely want to run this. I also see people using the dual hammers, and if you're going to do that, I'd recommend Ranger Reaper for that. I never recommend Heal Share. I just think it doesn't help you. You don't get any temp health when you use this, and just leads to a faster death, I think. Down here you have Last Resort. Barden gains 25% increased power when out of ammunition. This one's really not that great because he literally gives you extra ammo. So unless you're using the throwing axes, this one, not really a great choice here. You also have Foe Feller. Increases attack speed by 5%. Now this is one of those, basic kind of stock abilities. It's like, oh, here you go, here's 5% of whatever. It's boo. No. I don't want that. I want Master of Improvisation. Reloading a weapon reduces the cooldown of Disengage by 2 seconds. This one's going to work great because we're going to be using the Grudge Breaker, which you have to reload all the time. So, very helpful there. For your Stagger Talents, you have Bulwark, Mainstay, and Enhanced Power. Bulwark's good for like a shield kind of build because you stagger everything. Everything takes more damage. Mainstay's good if you want to if you're just going to melee a lot, and stagger lots of things with a big heavy weapon. Not really great for this build because we're going to be doing a lot of shooting actually. The Grudge Breaker is kind of going to be like our main weapon for this, which is why I like Enhanced Power. 7% increase to your total power level, which equates to 10% increased damage across the board. So melee and range, both 10% increase in damage. And I think that's the logical choice for this build. You also have Share and Share Alike down here. When an ally picks up a Survivalist cache, Barden receives 10% ammunition. Now this one, sounds good and everything, like, oh yeah, you get more ammunition. But it's completely overshadowed by Grunky's Cunning here. Increases ammunition restored by Survivalist caches to 30%. So this is the talent you want to use if you just want to keep everybody fully stocked on ammo all the time. On Legend, there's tons of specials. You'll have 5 or 6 specials spawn in 10 seconds or less, and you kill them all, that's freaking free ammo for everybody. Perfect. Scavenger is also pretty good. You get the normal 10% ammo, but it has a 20% chance to drop a potion or a bomb, which is really cool if you have a squad that's just all about potions and they just use them all the time. It's a good way to keep them stocked. But for the purposes of this, I like my ammo, so 30% please and thank you. Down here you have No Dawdling, increases movement speed by 10%. I hate movement speed. People think oh, if I run faster, we'll get the map done sooner, and then we'll win. But what really ends up happening is no one else has movement speed, and this one Joker has 10-20% movement speed. So they run a mile ahead of the squad, and it might work for a little bit, but eventually they're going to get grabbed by an assassin, they're going to get grabbed by a hook rat. Something's going to down them. And where's the squad? They're too far back to help. So you might as well just stay with the squad. Movement speed is dumb. Exuberance. Headshots reduce damage taken by 30% for 5 seconds. This one's pretty good too. I like this one. If you have good aim, I know the Grudge Breaker's not that hard to miss with, but if you have good aim, this is just going to make you a little bit more tankier. I like firing Fury, however. If you hit 2 enemies with 1 ranged attack, which is easy to do with the Grudge Breaker, it increases the speed, the reload speed, by 35%, which is really nice because the Grudge Breaker is already kind of slow with the reload. So that's the one I go with. And then for your ultimates, you have Ranger's Ambush. Increases the duration of disengaged stealth to 15 seconds. So it lasts, I believe, 5 seconds longer. But if you leave the cloud of smoke area, you will be revealed, so you can't go too far. You have Ranger's Parting Gift as well. Activating Disengage causes the next bomb Barden throws within the duration of the ability not to be consumed. This one's interesting. You know, it's fun to kind of swap out every once in a while. Just make sure you have a bomb for a monster or something. You'll do a little extra damage. Just a way to help out the team. But I like Surprise Guest. Disengages stealth, does not break on beyond moving the smoke cloud. So that means that still lasts for 10 seconds, but you can go anywhere as far as you can in those 10 seconds. You can attack, you can pick somebody up. It's really nice when you guys are just swarmed. Somebody goes down, you need to pick them up. You can just disengage stealth. It'll stagger all the enemies back that are around you, and you can go and pick your teammate up. Super helpful. For the equipment, as I mentioned, the Great Axe, crit chance, attack speed, swift sling. It's a little slow on its own, so I like to make it go faster. This one, I would think, would take a little bit of practice because the motions are kind of strange. You have an overhead, a slight overhead, and kind of an upward diagonal hit there. So, kind of just weird motions. It might take a little getting used to, but that's what I would run on it all day. And then the focus of this build, the Grudge Breaker. I like Hunter. I'm partial to it. But if you're going to do Hunter, you got to have crit chance, because that's what triggers it. You can also do Barrage. If you're going for the reload speed, Barrage will work. Or if you just really don't want to run out of ammo, you could go for like headshots, restore 1 ammunition or something, and then go for that 30% reduced damage talent. So there's a couple things you could do. I have Power versus Armored on here. You don't have to do that. You can change that out with lots of things. I just like that because Armored boys, they take less damage, so try to get them out of the way a little bit. But you can let's swap that out for anything. Chaos, Skaven, Infantry, Monsters, it doesn't really matter. For the necklace, 20% health, 30% block cost reduction. I've kind of gotten back, like I used to use a lot of block cost reduction, and then I had a stamina phase, and now I'm back on block cost reduction. I just think it's nice for if you really need to block or pick somebody up. It's so useful, you know, just so useful. And then Bark Skin, of course, would couple well with that 30% reduced damage talent I mentioned. 70% reduced damage when both these things are active here. You know, I'm not a fan of Natural Bond, as I've mentioned before. Natural Bond, you have to like rely on somebody smart enough to heal you, or just be really good and not take any hits. I think Bark Skin is the more practical thing to go with. And then for this, Power vs. Chaos, attack speed, a little more damage to the big boys. Attack speed, a little bit more speed for your Great Axe there. And I like Decanter for this guy. His cooldown is about 2 minutes. It's pretty long, so Decanter is a good one. Proxy is another one that's pretty good if you want to be helpful to the team. You can give people around you your potion abilities. And if you have Scavenger going on, you can just keep doing that. And it's actually pretty helpful. So Decanter or Proxy I would recommend. And then for the Trinket, 33% curse resistance, that's the max. Crit chance, shrapnel, I don't think I ever changed this on any character. It works so well. You know, unless I'm doing Cataclysm, I'll take the curse resistance off. But curse resistance keeps your health higher for the Grims, reduces, you know, your curse, crit chance, to trigger your hunter, to trigger your swift sling, shrapnel for the monsters, for the patrols, grenades. Everything's great. Now, one thing I just want to mention, when it comes to the Grudge Breaker, it's kind of an interesting little weapon here because you can actually, if you right click, you can stagger an enemy many times, and it crits. You can shoot, when you're reloading, you fast reload, stagger, shoot again, ability, stagger. You know, there's many combinations you can do with this weapon. And if you're good enough, you like literally won't even have to use this great axe. You can just run around staggering people and shooting them, but you'll never run out of ammo with this guy. It's kind of an interesting way to play. Yeah, pretty good range guy here. Give it a try.